The following program is presented by Chick-fil-A South Florida and Bright Star Credit Union.
Cypress Bay takes on Coral Springs tonight on School Duel. Welcome to School Duel, where 24 South Florida high schools battle it out. Tonight's game features Cypress Bay High versus Coral Springs High in what should be quite a showdown. And to provide an environment as safe as possible, as you see, we are all wearing masks. Okay, before we begin, let me tell you what these students are playing for. First off, both teams will win beautiful trophies courtesy of our sponsor, EDCO Awards and Specialties. Thank you, EDCO. And for the runner-up tonight, each player from that school will receive $50 from our sponsor, Bright Star Credit Union. Thank you, Bright Star. And last but not least, for the winners, well, each of these students will walk away with free chicken sandwiches for an entire year, courtesy of Chick-fil-A South Florida. Thank you very much, Chick-fil-A South Florida. All right, let's get started. Our opening round is called First Strike, and in this round, it's school versus school. Each question is worth 10 points, and any question answered incorrectly gives the other school a chance to steal. All right, schools, prepare for the first strike. First question deals with companies. Its less successful products include a user interface named Bob and a music player called a Zune. Identify this company, better known for making the Xbox game. Yes, Miranda?
Microsoft?
Yes, good job, and we are off. All right, biology. A sneeze and a blink are examples of this biological response that is both automatic and involuntary. Name, yes, Venkata?
Reflex.
Very good, excellent. Countries. Murray Hill is the highest mountain on this country's Christmas island. Mount Ossa, yes, Francisco?
Easter Island.
Incorrect, Coral Springs. Mount Ossa is the highest mountain on this country's island of Tasmania. Name this country that is also, Joshua?
Australia.
Yes, very good. All right, composers. What composer wrote the theme song to The Simpsons, as well as the scores for many Tim Burton films, including Batman and The Nightmare Before Christmas? Yes, Joseph?
John Williams.
Incorrect, Coral Springs. That would be Danny Elfman. Mathematics. What branch of mathematics studies the relationships between the angles and side lengths of triangles? Yes, Francisco?
Trigonometry.
Yes, very good. All right, literary characters. He is called the Knight of Woeful Consonants. Name this character from La Mancha who tilts at windmills and rides a beaten-down horse. Francisco?
Don Quixote.
Very good. All right. Ladies and gentlemen, it's time for the What Am I question, brought to you by Bogart's American Kitchen in Cooper City. Here, our contestants are given a clue about something and someone and shown a picture that will slowly reveal itself. So here's the question. It has an intense magnetic field and is over 300 times as massive as Earth. Name this planet whose day is 10 Earth hours long. Yes, Joshua?
Jupiter.
Yes, very good. And here's a little tidbit about Jupiter. It's the third brightest object in the night sky after the moon and Venus. Look out for it. All right, Supreme Court. One judge said it was the most controversial ruling of his career. Identify this Supreme Court case that, on a 5-4 decision, settled the presidential election of the year 2000. Miranda.
Gore versus Bush.
Very good. All right, the Caribbean. What Caribbean island has produced Olympic gold medal winning sprinters? Francisco?
Jamaica.
That's right. Monuments. From Ellis Island in New York City, you have to take a ferry to see this national monument. Francisco?
The Statue of Liberty.
Yes, that's exactly what we're talking about. Phrases is the next question. What two-word phrase that now means worthless stuff sold as medicine also describes omega-3 fatty acids obtained from squeezing a reptile with a rattle on its tail? Yes, Venkata.
Rattlesnake.
Incorrect. Coral Springs. Yes, Joshua?
Anti-venom?
No, the phrase is snake oil. Oh, there's my horn, and that means the end to the first strike round. We have a close game. 10 points separates the two teams, Cypress Bay with 50 points and Coral Springs with 40. We'll be right back with more School Duel just after these messages.
Junior Achievement provides a curriculum where students can build and prepare how to be accomplished, successful adults.
It's a budgeting, financial literacy, personal finance program that we're doing with the school system.
They're going to play out life scenarios, really learning how to live out a lifestyle within their means and budget.
The kids learn it and they bring it back home, and it really helps the entire family. And it begins to start impacting schools, and it'll impact our nation.
BECON-TV would like to thank the following sponsors for making School Duel possible.
School Duel. The first round of action ended with a close game. Cypress Bay has 50 points and Coral Springs has 40. Now, before we begin the second round, let's take a minute to meet this week's competitors from each school. We are going to start with the Cypress Bay Lightning. Welcome. We're going to start with Joseph, who's a senior, and the question of the day is there a possible career field you'd like to go into?
Well, hopefully I'd like to go into medicine and hopefully become a doctor when I'm older.
I like that. All right. Next to you is Venkata, and you're a junior. What are you thinking of doing as a career?
I would like to become a physicist.
All right. And the captain of Cypress Bay's team is Francisco. You're a senior. What are you thinking of doing later in life?
I'm not really sure yet.
That's all right. You have time. All right, let's go ahead and meet your competitors. They are the Coral Springs Colts. Welcome. We're going to start with Joshua, who's a junior. What are you thinking of doing as a career later in life?
I want to be an internal radiologist.
Ah, very specific. I like it. All right, next to you is Julia. You're a senior. Same question for you.
I'm undecided at the moment.
All right, you have time, plenty of time. And the captain of Coral Springs team is Miranda. You're a senior. What are you thinking of doing?
I'm hoping to be a political science major at Georgetown and move on to politics.
Ah, I love how specific that is. Excellent. So let's hear it for both schools. All right, now that we know everyone, let's move on to round two. The Jousting is presented by Public Supermarkets. Here, a player from each school competes head-to-head with a toss-up question. The winner gets 3 bonus questions for their school, and all questions are worth 10 points. All right, schools, let's get ready to joust. We'll start with our captains, Francisco and Miranda. Here's your toss-up question worth 10 points. In 2020, it was surveyed by scientists from China and Nepal who determined its height to be over 29,000 feet above sea level. Francisco?
Mount Everest.
Yes, very good. All right, Cypress Bay. The following bonus questions deal with Mount Everest. Bonus question number 1. One common route to the top starts in Nepal. Another starts in this semi-autonomous region of China. Francisco?
Tibet.
Yes. Bonus question number 2. This New Zealander is considered the first white man to reach the summit of Everest. Yes, Francisco?
William Harding.
No, it's Sir Edmund Hillary. Bonus question number 3. Hillary was accompanied by Tenzing Norgay, a member of this Tibetan ethnic group who often guide climbers up Himalayan mountains. Yes, Venkata?
A Sherpa.
Very good. Excellent. Our next two, Venkata and Julia, here you are. It's your toss-up questions, and it is worth 10 points. Tropical, temperate, and boreal are all types of what major biome that contains many trees, Julia?
Rainforest.
We're going to go Venkata. The answer is forests. Extra question for you both. Aquatic biomes are ecosystems that exist in bodies of this substance that covers 2/3 of our planet. Yes, Venkata?
Oceans.
The following bonus questions deal with types of biomes. Bonus question number 1. Semi-arid and hot and dry are types of this biome that receives very little rainfall. Yosef.
Desert.
Bonus question number 2. Arctic and alpine are types of this biome with few trees and cold temperatures. Yosef.
Arctic.
Incorrect. It's tundras. Bonus question number 3. Prairies, steppes, and savannas are types of this biome characterized by plants that are much smaller than trees. Venkata.
Grasslands.
Very good. All right, my last two, Yosef and Joshua. Here's your bonus question worth 10 points. What term defined by architecturaltrust.org as a curved or pointed structural element that is supported at its sides can be seen in pairs on McDonald's signs? Yosef.
Arch.
All right, we're back with Cypress Bay. The following bonus questions deal with identifying terms from their definitions on architecturaltrust.org. Bonus question number 1. A supporting pillar consisting of a base, a cylindrical shaft, and a capital on top of the shaft. It may be plain or ornamental. Francisco.
Column.
Yes. Bonus question number 2. A tiered tower with multiple roof layers constructed about a central axis pole. It is indigenous to Asia and typically located within Buddhist temple precincts. Venkata.
A dome.
Incorrect. It's a pagoda. Bonus question number 3. This is the second oldest of the 3 basic orders of classical Greek architecture, the others being the Doric and the Corinthian. Francisco.
Gothic.
Incorrect. It's Ionic. All right, that buzzer means the end to the joust. We have Cypress Bay leading. They have 130 points. Coral Springs has 40 points. But don't go anywhere because we'll be right back with more School Duel after these messages.
It must be fate that his cap and gown are the same color he wore for his kindergarten graduation. It's the same rascally smile, that hasn't changed. But he stands there, so sure, so ready to take on the world. He has arrived. It's hard not to resist and push against the door that's closing, but you give in a little, because the future is wide open. From each little moment to every major milestone, Publix, proud supporter of education.
There were these kids and they were doing this weird thing with their hands and...
Well, it's not up to you. I already made my decision.
But don't just go through the motions. Embrace them. Take it all in. Breathe, focus, then go.
You know, we've been raised to be leaders and be responsible and don't be a follower. And that's exactly what we're doing right now.
Coming up on Broward Teen News.
What's Broward High School?
We're here at Cooper City High School.
We're at Stoneman Douglas High School.
Cypress Bay edition of Broward Teen News.
Broward Teen News starts now.
BTN is South Florida's only teen-produced news program, produced by a different Broward high school every month. Broward Teen News, South Florida's student-produced news show by teens for teens.
BECON-TV would like to thank the following sponsors for making School Duel possible.
Duel, where local high schools match wits. Today's game has Cypress Bay High competing against Coral Springs High School. Cypress Bay currently is leading with 130 points and Coral Springs has 40 points. It is now time for the rapid action round, and during this round, each school receives an identical category of questions to answer quickly by themselves. And since Coral Springs is trailing, they get to go first while Cypress Bay waits outside the studio for their turn with the same questions. Now, today's category starts with N as in November. And in this category, the answer contains a word that starts with the letter N as in November. Each question is worth 10 points. And remember that you must answer these quickly or the judge will move you on. So here comes rapid action. Coral Springs, you ready? Let's cue music and begin. Greek goddess of victory, or the American sneaker company named for her. Miranda.
Nike.
The square root of 81. Julia.
9.
Shadow warrior of feudal Japan. Joshua.
Ninja.
South Pacific nation with its capital at Wellington. Julia.
New Zealand.
Adjective for a skillet coated with Teflon. Miranda.
Non-stick.
Scientific term for a brain cell. Miranda.
Neuron.
The only word ever spoken by Edgar Allan Poe's Raven. Julia.
Nevermore.
American rock band fronted by Gwen Stefani. Julia.
No Doubt.
Tchaikovsky's ballet often performed around Christmas. His title was First Consul before he declared himself Emperor of France. Miranda.
Napoleon.
All right, good job. We got through all of your questions. And with a little TV magic, we're going to bring in their competitors. All right, Cypress Bay, come on in. All right, welcome back, Cypress Bay. Now it's your turn with the same questions. Today's category starts with N as in November. And in this category, the answer contains a word that starts with the letter N as in November. And each question is worth 10 points. Remember, you must answer them quickly or the judge is going to move you on. Okay, Cypress Bay? So let's cue music and begin. Greek goddess of victory, or the American sneaker company named for her.
Nike.
Joseph. The square root of 81. Venkata.
9.
Shadow warrior of feudal Japan. Joseph.
Night.
South Pacific nation with its capital at Wellington. Venkata.
New Zealand.
Adjective for a skillet coated with Teflon. Venkata.
Non-stick.
Scientific term for a brain cell. Francisco.
Neuron.
The only word ever spoken by Edgar Allan Poe's Raven. Venkata.
No.
American rock band fronted by Gwen Stefani. Joseph.
Nirvana.
Tchaikovsky ballet often performed around Christmas. Francisco.
Nutcracker.
His title was First Consul before he declared himself Emperor of France. Francisco.
Napoleon.
All right, very good. Very good for both teams. We got through all of those questions. And that ends the rapid action round. We do have Cypress Bay leading with 200 points. Coral Springs has 130 points. Let's take a short break, and then we'll be back for the final showdown to see which school wins this school duel game.
Junior Achievement provides a curriculum where students can build and prepare how to be accomplished, successful adults.
It's a budgeting, financial literacy, personal finance program that we're doing with the school system.
They're going to play out life scenarios, really learning how to live out a lifestyle within their means and budget.
The kids learn it and they bring it back home, and it really helps the entire family. And it begins to start impacting schools, and it'll impact our nation.
BECON-TV would like to thank the following sponsors for making School Duel possible.
Joining us, we're back with School Duel, and we've got a good game going as Cypress Bay is holding on to their lead over Coral Springs. Current score, 200 to 130. It is now time for the final showdown, and this is our last round. The schools will go against each other again with toss-up questions, but this time the questions are worth 20 points each. And just a reminder, if a question is answered incorrectly, then the other school can steal. So this is for the win. It is time for the final showdown. Here we go. Your first question deals with books. What book includes stories about a mongoose named Rikki Tikki Tavi and a man cub named Mowgli who was raised Francisco?
The Jungle Book.
Temperature. Identify the temperature scale used in chemistry calculations. Yes, Francisco?
Kelvins.
Jazz. What alliterative style of jazz is usually played by large ensembles, including saxophones, trumpets, and trombones? Francisco?
Freeform jazz.
Incorrect. Coral Springs? Miranda?
Rhythm and blues jazz?
No, it's called big band. Algebra. If 2x plus 5 equals 17, what is the value of x, Francisco?
6.
Vice presidents. Who was the second vice president to become president after John Adams? Miranda?
Thomas Jefferson?
Spelling. Referring to a type of bread, spell the word pumpernickel. Francisco?
Pumpernickel.
Good job. The Constitution. What is the most common collective term for the first 10 amendments? Francisco?
The Bill of Rights.
Mammals. What American mammal native to the Great Plains is often mistakenly, Francisco?
Bison.
Museums. Identify the museum within the Smithsonian Institute where you're most likely to find fossilized dinosaur bones. Francisco?
The Museum of Natural History.
Seas. What colorful sea separates mainland China from South Korea? Francisco?
The Yellow Sea.
Cars. What part of a car's interior is located below the windshield and usually contains the speedometer? Francisco?
Dashboard.
Mythology. In Greek myth, Perseus obtained the head of what Gorgon, who's Julia?
Medusa.
Sugars. It's a disaccharide made up of glucose and another compound. Identify the sugar found in milk, of which some people, Miranda?
Lactose.
Monarchs. What niece of England's King George IV ruled for 64 years, outliving Francisco?
Queen Elizabeth.
Incorrect. Coral Springs. Okay, Joshua?
Queen Victoria.
Recent TV. Which recent entry in the Star Trek franchise features the return of Patrick Stewart? Francisco?
Star Trek Into Darkness.
Incorrect. Coral Springs. Which recent entry in the Star Trek franchise features the return of Patrick Stewart as the title character now retired from Starfleet? Miranda.
Star Trek Picard.
Programming. What popular programming language shares its name with reptiles of the Francisco?
Python.
Poets. She was the first youth poet laureate of the United States. Miranda.
Amanda Gorman.
Playing cards. The 4 suits in a standard deck of playing cards are hearts, diamonds, clubs, and what? Francisco.
Spades.
Fast capitals. What is the capital of California? Francisco.
Sacramento.
Oh, that sound brings an end to this school duel game as Cypress Bay fought really hard to hold on to their lead over Coral Springs, and they are ending with a score of 440. Coral Springs is ending with a score of 250. So congratulations to Cypress Bay. Each of you have won Chick-fil-A chicken sandwiches for an entire year, courtesy of Chick-fil-A South Florida. Congratulations. And of course, great job to everyone. So let's hear it for both schools. And at this time, we'd like to thank all of our sponsors for making School Duel possible, and of course, you at home for watching. Don't forget to check out our website at schoolduel.tv, where you can find out more about the schools involved, and you can watch past shows. And please remember to use hashtag School Duel to contact us through social media. And most importantly, make sure that you tune in next week to School Duel Thursday at 8 p.m. as Olympic Heights High takes on Boca Raton High in what should be another great game. Goodbye, everyone, and thanks for watching.
School Duel was brought to you by Chick-fil-A South Florida and Bright Star Credit Union.